Hey, I'm Eric O'Keefe, and I'm here with Christina Murphy, and she is another client that's been working with Russell now for a little while. She's here to share a story, results, kind of where she's gone through, and everything that she's seen. So, Christina, I appreciate taking the time to come on and do this. And what I want to do is I want to jump back. I want to jump back before you started training and working with Russell. Kind of tell me where you were at in terms of maybe physically and how you were feeling with yourself and your body and mentally.
Um, Before I'd started with Russell, I was in quite a not a nice place, quite a dark place. I was heavily overweight. I was in sort of getting lost in a world of disability, looking after for a disabled child 24/7. So my own well-being kind of went on a back burner. And so yeah, when I met with Russell, I wasn't in a good place at all.
Okay. Now, was there a certain point or something that took place that triggered, okay, I need to reach out and maybe try and make some changes and take care of myself? Was there something that kind of triggered that?
There was. I just got fed up of feeling so down all the time, and thought I've got to actually try and do something and focus on something and get something else in my life that's going to give me something positive and something to look forward to, and to try to make myself feel better about myself.
Okay. So it was just kind of over time, things had just built up, right? And just kind of being in that mindset.
Yeah, and over that period of time, my weight was just escalating, and the clothing that I was able to choose was, never being able to choose nice clothing, and in the end, it just all got too much, and I reached a point where I thought I've got to try and make a change.
Okay. Okay. So you came to this point, you're like, all right, I've got to make this change. There's a lot of places or people that you could have contacted. How did you end up finding out about Russell in the first place?
A friend of mine joined a gym,
Mm-hmm.
and she invited me to go along as a guest, on a free day pass. And I didn't think that I would enjoy it, and I was really nervous about going because I thought obviously everybody that's going to go there are going to be
Mm-hmm.
fit people. And when I went along, I was pleasantly surprised by how much I enjoyed it. So I tried it again and again, and then somebody recommended having some personal training, and I asked for a recommendation, and they recommended Russell. So I made contact with him, and that's when I began training with him.
Gotcha. So you reached out. So you kind of started doing a training beforehand, kind of getting yourself maybe in a little bit of shape, starting to
Yeah.
transform things, right? And then you said, okay, I want to take this another step further. And you reached out to Russell. And let me ask you, were you nervous in maybe the one-on-one personal training side of things, maybe going in and having not done that before?
I didn't think I was going to be up to it,
Okay.
because I didn't see myself as a particularly fit person.
Mm-hmm.
I saw myself as a incredibly overweight person that was trying to slowly improve. And I felt that training with a personal trainer I had this idea that it was for fit people.
Mm.
Um,
Okay.
so I thought I was going to struggle, but I just gave it a go, and it went from there.
Now, when you walked in and you first met Russell, did he make you just feel comfortable and at ease, and kind of maybe help some of that mindset stuff where you thought you had to be a fit person?
Very quickly, he put me at ease, and he made a joke about something, and made me laugh.
Mm-hmm.
And that's half the battle. If somebody can make me laugh, and I found that his sense of humour, I connected to his sense of humour,
Mm-hmm.
and rather than being serious about everything, he made things quite light-hearted, and I responded to that.
Okay. So that kind of nervousness, that weight, right, just was like, oh, okay, I can have fun with this,
Yeah,
right? I can, okay, maybe I don't need to be the way that I think I need to be, right?
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you get in and you start working with them. What was that like in terms of the training and stuff, and kind of how were you feeling as you were going through that?
As I was going through it, some sessions I found more difficult than others. I found
Mm-hmm.
there was areas that I found more difficult than others. But I began to really enjoy it and look forward to the sessions. And as I was slowly seeing results, it spurred me to continue, and I'm still doing that and still carrying on with it and still enjoying it. So,
Okay. Okay. How long have you been with Russell for now?
I think probably for about 5 years. I think.
Wow. So obviously, and we'll get into the results that you've seen in a second, but obviously there's something that's really connected you, that's really just kept you there. Because I mean, 5 years for training with somebody is almost a lifetime. So what would you say that it's been that's kept you there that long?
Um, I'd got a medical condition,
Okay.
and I'd had it since teenage years. It's a genetic thing, and it's a kind of it's called lymphedema
Mm-hmm.
and lipodema, and it's a swelling of your limbs.
Right.
So my legs are I've got big swollen legs, and my arms are affected also. So I'd asked Russell if we could concentrate on those areas and make improvement, because the hospital that I'm under for it have said that there's no amount of diet or exercise that will help it. So with Russell, we sort of worked on trying to prove that wrong,
Okay.
and kept measurements, and gone back to the hospital, and the measurements have gone down on my legs as opposed to going up. So as I was seeing those measurements improve, that was spurring me on.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I'd gone through from teenage years never being able to wear a skirt, to gradually getting into a skirt, being able to get boots on. I could never get
Mm-hmm.
full length boots over my legs. So each little milestone that I saw spurred me to continue with it.
How, you've never been able to do that stuff before. So now that you were able to do that, how did that make you feel?
Um, it completely changed my quality of life, to be honest,
Wow.
because to be able to go out and buy a pair of boots, at the age of 50, 52 actually it was when I first got a pair of boots on, was something that I'd always wanted to do. And to be able to go out in a skirt, and this year I've actually gone into going on holiday and wearing a bikini.
Wow.
So at 54 years old, I'm now able to wear a bikini for the first time.
So you've got to just feel amazing after going through all this.
Yeah. My son, who lives in New York, he's over from New York at the moment, and we were in Budapest last week where we were having therapy for my other son. We went to a swimming pool and I had a bikini on, and my eldest son said, "Mum, have you had a personality transplant or something? You're in a bikini."
That's great. That's great. Now, obviously, so there was also a lot of weight loss that had come along in this process. Were you tracking any of that? Have you paid attention? Do you have any numbers that you think you could share?
Yeah, I did. I did a diet with Russell, a 19-day challenge,
Yep.
and over that 19 days, I lost about 16 pounds,
Wow.
and that's when I got the boots on.
Mm-hmm.
When I'd lost that, so that kind of then made me think about not only doing it for the 19 days, but incorporating it into your everyday life.
Right.
So yeah, I'd started off. I've lost about. I'm doing it in stones, but just over 2 stone.
Okay. That's great. Now, have you noticed since you've been doing this, it's been 5 years, there's been a lot of changes. Have you noticed now that there's been a shift in the mindset, and that the way you feel about your life and everything else compared to where it was before you started?
Hugely, a huge difference in my mindset. Yeah. I feel much more comfortable when I'm out. Previously, I would have blended into the background, and I might be seen but not heard. Now, when I go out, I'm more comfortable about talking to people, interacting with people. Yeah, it's completely changed the way that I am when I go out as a person, and I'm a much more sociable person now than what I was back then.
Awesome. So you would go as far as say that going through this has literally changed your life?
It has done, yeah.
Wow. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's changed your life. You've seen amazing results, and obviously, right? It's affecting family too. Like your children are seeing the differences. You even said there's a personality transplant. So
Yeah.
been some massive changes. Now, what I'm curious to know is let's say that somebody was, I guess, on the fence. Maybe they wanted to work with Russell. Maybe they were in a similar situation that you were in. Okay, and they hear about this. They want to train with Russell, but they're on the fence. They're not sure. What would you want to say to somebody that's in that position?
I would advise them to give it a go. And actually, as we speak, I've convinced somebody to give it a go, and they're going to have a session with Russell. And that's somebody that's 61 years old who's never had a personal trainer in their life, but has seen the results that I've got, and can see how pleased I am. So they're now wanting to give it a go and see how they get on.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. Amazing to hear this. And what I want to do is I just got a few more questions, and I just want to shift gears because you've gone through so much. You've been there 5 years, so you've probably gotten to know who Russell is really well. Not just as a trainer, but also as a person. You've connected with him really well. So are there a few words or maybe phrases that you can think of that kind of describe the type of person that he is?
I don't think of him as just a personal trainer. I think of him as a really good friend. And I find that he's a very, very kind person, a very kind family person, and he'd support me in other aspects of my life. You know, when my son is my disabled son's unwell, he'll talk to me about it, and he'll give me a point of view. He's very much in the mindset that anything can be overcome.
Yeah.
So when I come up with faced with obstacles with regards to things in life, he'll say you can overcome that, and he'll give me ideas of how to do it. So he's a very positive person.
Okay. And then he obviously sounds like he cares, because he cares about you.
He cares a lot.
Okay.
He really cares a lot. But most of all, what I would say that I would really rate with Russell is that he's got this mischievous quality and an excellent sense of humour. And to me, that's a really important thing for a person to have, a quality. To me, if they've got a good sense of humour, it goes a long way. I respond to people that have got a really good sense of humour, because I've got a good sense of humour myself.
Cool.
And if I can laugh in life, that makes me feel really good. And when I have training sessions with Russell, so often we end up laughing over something that happens within the training session. So yeah, I see him as a valued friend now.
Okay. All right. And then last question for you. Obviously, there's been a lot of time you guys have spent. You've gotten to know each other. You've seen, transformation. You're all parts of your life. Let's say that this would be right here the last time that you could ever talk to Russell. Like, let's say you'd never see him again. Right? Let's say you lost all his email stuff, his phone, and this would be the last time. Knowing this is the last time, what would you want to say to him?
I want to sincerely thank him for everything that he's done for me, and I would tell him that I would never ever forget it, and what he's taught me I would keep with me forever, and I would continue to and strive to work and continue the work that he's done with me. I'd carry on and keep it in my life that way.
Amazing, amazing. Well, Christine, I really appreciate you coming on, taking the time to share your story. It's incredible to hear where you were, to where you are now, and just see the transformation. I really do appreciate it, and I just want to wish you the best of luck with everything going forward.
Thank you.